All right, collective. How y'all doing today? Doing good? In spite the insight here, back with another reading for the collective. It's been a good energy today. I've been getting very positive vibes. I'm feeling like the collective is on some self mastery shit right now. Right? You're on the. You're literally got it in motion. You got it going. You're doing the damn thing now, and it's great to feel because I can feel it. I can feel your progress from here. Okay, so let's start out with a little dice roll. We got 6 plus 2 equals 8. I'm gonna roll this one again. 8 plus 5 is 13. So we got 4 energy. Seems like I'm always doing 4 energies when I do readings. I'm always getting 4 energy. Um, and my life path is a 36-9. So yeah, but I have rolled 3 and then 6 and 9 on this channel before, but only one time in my life. And I rolled 3 6s at once, which was dope. But anyway, this is about you, not me. So what I've been feeling like when I was at work all day, all I kept hearing was boundaries. Someone has overstepped their boundaries, or maybe you haven't put up your boundaries. You might need to do some boundary realizations and laying down some ground rules and some boundaries. Keep people from draining your energy and overstepping and using you like they probably do a lot of times. And because it's all so easy, and they might not even realize they're doing it, but you know they're doing it when you leave the conversation, or you leave physically being with someone and you feel drained afterwards, and you didn't feel that way before. So that's a form of a synchronicity. So anytime that something like that happens, it's not a coincidence. It's it's literally transmutation of energies, right? Because they didn't even know it, and they're literally sucking your life out of you. And yeah, shit's crazy. But let's draw a couple cards and clarify here and see what's going on with this energy that we got going on here today. I'm still trying to figure out what the energy exactly is, but this throughout work all day, I heard boundaries. So it says realizing your past wasn't a waste; it built your perspective. Okay, okay. So you could be just finding your voice. You could have just recently found your or just recently opened your throat chakra, or are opening your throat chakra. You're learning how to communicate how you really feel, how to express your emotions, and actually get through to people, to cut through the average mundane small talk. Small talk probably drains you, and deep conversations probably stimulate you. If you're anything like who I think you are, then those two statements hold true. And you're just really introspective, and that's something that you should always try and tap in deeper, because you can never be too introspective. You can never look at, and what introspective is like having looking at something all the way zoomed out with like every perspective possible. That's what introspective is. And if you are an introspective thinker, that means you consider all the possible ways something could be done, or the possible just perspectives that something could be looked at. Because if you look at something with one perspective and then a different perspective, you will come to two different outcomes, right? So that's just basically like left leaning and right leaning. That's like two different perspectives will create two different things. And your own unique perspective is a wonderful thing, because no one in the world else has that perspective but you. And the reason no one else has your perspective is because no one else in the world has lived where you like lived your life, you know? So every experience that you've had, every conversation that you've ever engaged in, every time you said hello to somebody, that changes your perspective. And that basically just builds onto the perspective that you have, and things can either shape your perspective in a good way or a bad way. So it's your choice to, or it's your priority to prioritize which spectrum you're on, and how resilient you can be will determine what that spectrum ends up being, as a positive impact on you or a negative impact on you. Because you can go, two people can go through the same things and come out totally different, just because, like I said a second ago about the different perspectives. um, Even though they're going through the same thing, since they have a different perspective, they learned a different lesson, and they are taking away something different from that action of doing something. And that's why perspective is such a like a profound like thing. Well, it's like something that is not really thought of a lot. Like perception is like, the news likes to paint one perception and likes to always portray one perception, and that's where a lot of people get lost, is because the news only is one-sided about everything. And then that means the people that do wholeheartedly believe in the news and watch the news religiously and stuff, all those people have damn near the same perspective. And that's why that's such a dangerous thing. um yeah, because you think about television, it's like television, 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 tell my vision. That's their meaning, their perspective. And then also like tell lies, like basically the TV's just nothing but lies. That's the way I look at it. Television, 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 tell my vision, basically. But yeah, that's just, television is just their perspective, basically their vision, their perspective. So this card, realizing your past wasn't a waste, it built your perspective, means that you should definitely embrace everything you've been through, and just try to have like embrace everything you've been through, but also try to have an introspective tendency on your life, to where you can look at things through a bunch of different perspectives. Because yeah, you have a unique perspective, um, but it's even more, that gets 10 times more powerful if you have the ability to switch your perspective, and to really be able to acknowledge other people's perspectives without that hindering or influencing your own perspective. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It says you can't heal in hiding, your gifts need to be seen. Okay, so I was thinking about some shit like this at work today. Like, if you make music or something, or even art, and you're just sitting on it and you're not showing it to anyone, or you're not like putting it out there for the world to see, then what's the point of even making the art, or doing the what working on whatever hobby you're working on, if you're just going to sit on it, and it's not ever going to see the light of day? That's the stupidest thing you could ever do. You might as well just be doing something, like you might as well just be wasting your time like doing something that's totally meaningless. Because if you're putting all your creativity and all your talents into something that you never show anybody, then people are just going to, not even that we care about what people think, but then it's going to make it look like you literally are a waste of space. So um, for those of you that are artistically inclined and do have talents and gifts that you let shine through whatever type of art you're doing. It can even be writing, like writing is an art, music is an art is an art, making things is an art, any type of DIY project is an art, like any type of art. And I know that everyone has an artistic side to them. You just got to tap into it. And you'd be surprised at how much more artistic you are than you give yourself credit for. If you've never tried something, then maybe it's time to take up some new hobbies and just literally just experiment with things. And I guarantee you, you're going to come across something that you maybe have done in a past life, and it's just going to like spark that that innate sense of purpose that everyone longs for, and that no one and that is really hard to find. But the only way you're going to find that purpose is to try different stuff and to be open so much as to not repeat the same thing you do every single day. Like, yeah, schedules are good to a certain extent, but if you're doing the same thing you were doing yesterday every single day, then that's exactly what the government wants you to be doing, and that's exactly what the matrix has birthed you into do. And that's not, for whoever's watching this video, I know that you feel very strongly about not conforming like that, and not giving in like that, and not giving all your power away like that, because we're a lot more strong than they want us to believe that we are. And you just got to really tap in and find out what you're special. Why are you here? Because God gave us all gifts. God gave us all unique gifts, and none of our gifts are the same. Like, two people could be good at drawing, but one person could probably draw one type of art, and then another person would probably draw the other type of art. But they're both they're both equally valued because of their unique perspective, and that just goes back to unique perspectives. Let's draw another one of these cards. You're finding beauty in the small moments, like your soul has better eyes now. Yeah, you could have been living your whole life like feeling like, I got a story about that, but that's for a different video. But you could have been living your whole life basically like not smelling the flowers. That's what that means. You're finding beauty in the small moments, like your soul has better eyes now. And that's basically like you now have figured out how to smell the flowers, metaphorical flowers of life, right? And and that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. When you learn how to do that's when everything changes. That's when you start having more optimism. That's when you start being more confident. That's when you start being more grateful for everything you have in your life and everything that you're going to have in your life. And that's how you can actually start manifesting for real, because once you're at a point to where you're like internally and eternally grateful, that's when your manifestations will start coming, will start lunging towards you. They'll literally start, you'll start pulling all your manifestations towards you. And you can only do that in the energy that's not waiting for the receive, right? You can only pull, the only way you can pull your manifestations towards you is when you're in an energy of abundance, and an energy of having, and an energy of being whole and being happy. Without that energy, you will never, you will actually push your manifestations. But I'm sure you know this, because this is like first grade spirituality stuff here. But yeah, sometimes we just need a reminder, because sometimes we let the most important little things, we let them put them on the back burner, and that never works. So let's just get one more card here. Let's see what's going on. Random tears for no reason. Soul is releasing. Random tears for no or random fears for no reason. See, look at my handwriting, is pretty bad. I even spelled releasing wrong. Isn't that cute? This actually could work with random fears or tears. So I'm just go with random fears for no reason. Yeah. So you may find yourself like sitting there you know you're supposed to be making content, but you're sitting there consuming content, and that's just the worst loop you can get into. That's literally the worst loop you can get into, because you know you're sitting there, and that builds up a lot of stress too, because after all that time you just wasted sitting there consuming content, and you haven't made any content, and you know that you could have made some content by now. It's not even about just content, it's about doing whatever you feel driven to do. Um, this world gives us so many easy ways out of that, doing what we're supposed to be doing and what we feel we should be doing. There's so many ways out of that. Everything is literally a way out of that. Everything. And it's up to you to actually want to make that come to fruition, and then you'll be able to reap your rewards later, right? You'll be able to pick your sweet fruits of labor and enjoy them, because you know that it takes action to do anything in this world. And if you're sitting there constantly prolonging things and just being stagnant, that's like some icky ass energy to be in, bro. That's like we just went from Pisces to Aquarius, right? That's like some Pisces ass energy. Not, no offense to my Pisces out there. I love my Pisces. I'm a Pisces, but I'd rather be a killer whale. Comment who that is if you know what I'm talking about. He's a rapper. But that's like Pisces energy, man. That structure, that rigid structure, that just square shaped. Like, I'm not saying, yeah, just square shaped. Like, that's so like we've realized that we are ascending. We are changing with the new Earth. I've actually been sick as hell like the past few days, and that's from the Earth's like frequency is changing, and I'm changing with it. Therefore, my body's going through some shit right now. Like I don't even sound right. Like, I sound sick, don't I? Because my lymph nodes are all swollen. I got headaches. I haven't even ate shit in a few days. Like, I'm not even hungry, but I haven't even ate, and I'm not even hungry. And it's just really odd for me, because usually I'm always eating food because I love food, but I haven't even ate the past few days, and I'm not even hungry. And it's just like, and then I saw some shit today, like, it's because of the ascension and how we're jumping time. The Earth is literally jumping timelines, and I'm making my I'm getting my boarding pass right now. Basically, I'm boarding the plane right now, because I'm going through, like, because supposedly you get bodily symptoms and physical symptoms during this ascension, and I have every single one of those ascensions. I don't sleep at night. I haven't been eating. I got headaches. My neck hurts. My back hurts. My body aches. Yeah, I'm going through it right now, and this literally just started happening like 4 days ago, 4 or 5 days. Well, about 3 days ago, about 4 days ago. But I can actually swallow now. My throat's good, but that could also be to do with this butane thing that I made wax. I made some wax and I used some butane, and I kind of fucked it up. So yeah, sorry if I just cussed and you got kids listening or watching. But anyway, if you made it this far in this video, then you have to subscribe to me, because why are you watching? Like, nah, you can if you want. I'm not gonna put that on no one, but I'd appreciate it if you could, though, because I'm trying to really do this shit. I'm trying to really get this message out there and get all of my messages out there and just help some people, because I'm only spitting positivity over here. I'm only bringing people up. We don't bring no one down. We only bring up, and everyone's worth it. So with that, Insight to Insight, back with another, and gone with your mother. Just kidding. All right, love y'all. Have a good night or day, whatever it is.